Some good coffee. I'm gonna head out to the mountains today. Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Alright, let me just get my setup here. Here goes nothing. I'm finally alone in this viewpoint, and I want to first say a big thank you to everybody who's left so many warm comments about my last post about getting layoff news. And it's the weekend. It's Saturday. I got my news on Tuesday, so I am out here in the mountains as I said I would be. So I made a pit stop to a bakery and picked up a few treats, a red velvet cake. I've been meaning to go to that bakery for a while, but thought today was a better day than any other day. And on a whim decided also I needed some coffee because I haven't had any, and then just looked on a map to see where I could go, where I could just have some quiet time. But it's quite busy. There were several people out here, and I'm finally alone. It took a while. I want to take this time to first just talk about the layoffs and how I've had a few days to process. Luckily, as I mentioned, I still have a month out until my last day, and I just want to address some of the comments and also answer some of the questions as well. So I want to thank everybody who went and watched the previous video and left very supportive comments. I really appreciate that. And yeah, definitely I don't feel alone in this journey, in this experience. And all right, hopefully the lighting isn't too bad. If there's a big glare in the back, I do apologize. Okay, so well, first of all, the view here is incredible. I don't know if you can tell. But anyways, I'll try to make sure it's all nice and even. Okay, maybe I should do it like this so you can see more of the forest and the trees. So where was I? You know, with my layoffs, as I mentioned, I'm not bitter or angry at all. I'm honestly not too surprised because my manager did a really good job of preparing us over the summer, telling our team that expect reorganizations and layoffs to come in Q4. And as we got closer, you know, she told us, like, she first of all didn't have any visibility into what was going to happen. And so I know the decision to lay me off came from above my skip level, so my skip level or higher, so I'm okay with that. If anything, I feel more at peace, and I'm not necessarily nervous either. I'm in a very fortunate position where, as I mentioned, I have a pretty good severance package and I have enough savings to last me well into the spring of next year, so I'm okay there. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a major ego boost this week just seeing the outpouring of love and support from my colleagues and people who I've worked with before. I have a lot of good prospects. I've applied to an internal job, project manager role. Oddly enough, the role is similar, if not identical, to the one what I'm doing, but it's in a different business line, so it would be a completely new domain I would have to pick up and learn. However, the salary band is a grade higher, and yeah, and it's still within the larger business organizations, so we'll see how it goes. I told my boss that I did apply, which is protocol to let your boss know if you applied internally, and she was really excited. She's like, great, fantastic, good luck, and let me know who the hiring manager is so that, you know, I could put in a good word for you. So hopefully that goes through. That was actually just on Friday, yesterday, so we'll see how that goes. I've been applying to other jobs as well. Yeah, so let me just dive straight into some of the Q&A. User GLee2964 asked, were you the only one remote? no. So I did find out a whole bunch of other people were cut. I work in a predominantly distributed team. Like 95% of people in the organization I belong to are remote. My boss is located in Florida. I'm located in Washington. My colleagues are in Maine and Pennsylvania, so we're just really scattered. And in fact, the scope of my work in general as well, I touched upon in previous videos. I have a couple projects that are based in Europe, so it's for the European market, and then the rest are for the North American market. I was actually scheduled to return to the office on a hybrid basis, and of course that's not going to be necessary anymore unless I do get this new project manager role. Another good question, actually a comment from user Jose Jimenez. I wouldn't be sitting around. I'd be looking for another job. Maybe join the military, sign up for a state job to be secure and good pay and benefits. Yes, I do agree about the state job. I have applied to public sector jobs before, but I didn't get past no interview invitations. And I'm not close to the idea, but I think I've spent the last 20 years of my career mostly in a private sector, so I'm more comfortable with that. And yeah, I'm looking for a job right now, but I'm not really anxious about it. I'm too old to join the military. I'm in my 40s, so I hope that answers your question. How did you anticipate? Just curious. This is from user Terry7344. Did your boss pick you? My boss did not pick me, so it was probably my skip level or higher, the EVPs. And yes, I did kind of anticipate layoffs happening, as I had mentioned. My manager did prepare us. We just didn't think that, we would have any cuts in our team, but it's okay. Let me see. Congratulations for being laid off. You get severance package, fluffy blanket, 1398. Thank you so much. Yes, I get a pretty handsome severance package. I wouldn't say it's a golden parachute, but I would say I have a silver parachute. So I'm very grateful for that. Best wishes on the next steps of your journey, Rachel. Thank you so much. I am looking forward to that. So when I talk about being overwhelmed, I have unbridled optimism. It's, in a way, when I say blessing in disguise, it's the best gift ever. Because I wanted a lot of free time for myself to do things I wanted to do, but could not because my work commitments always eat all my bandwidth. So if anything, I'm overwhelmed by the prospect of having so much free time. And what I'm going to do with the free time is what makes me nervous. So my journey after 40, well, that sucks. I work in tech and I don't understand what's going on with the job market either. I've seen the same thing with highly skilled people taking months and months to find their next job. Yes, it's something very peculiar. I know that it's definitely probably financial based. Ultimately, they need to cut the operating budget because too much overhead. And I am the most expensive TPM on my team. So that's probably the reason why. I had a product manager reach out when she found out, and she let me know. She's like, please let me know if I could be a reference. And she said I was the best TPM in the company that she's worked with. So that made me feel really good. I definitely know it wasn't performance based. It was more like most likely financial based. And also I have to say this year, I don't think I had enough visibility in front of senior leaders as much as I did in the past 3 years, and that's how I've been able to be promoted. Magistral Voyager, that loss of security truly hits hard. Yes, for sure. I don't think I have that feeling yet. I may if I don't find something new when it comes to like April or May. I'm going to record the rest of my video in my car because there are so many people out there, and I'm still nervous when I go out and film myself in public, so yeah, there are a lot of people here. Interestingly, I was actually supposed to go on 2 social functions today. Okay, this is really weird. I have a couple who's decided to just picnic right in front of my car. I'm trying to get away from people, but they keep following me. Take 3. I had to move my car because the people who decided to sit right in front of me, they're so loud, so I had to move my car. So where was I? I think I just took screenshots of the comments. I don't have any access to the internet here. Let me see. Do I have any bars? No, it's only satellite. Okay. So, let me see. Why is this so? Alright, so I'm just gonna have to do with the screenshots that I took of the comments and questions. As I said, I am so grateful for the outpouring of support and encouragement and encouraging words. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who's left such loving, kind words. Definitely gives me a lot of motivation and inspiration and hope. I'm from Hui3967 from California. Sorry to hear about your layoff. Wish you the best of luck in looking for the next one, for sure. I'm not in a dire, urgent situation to look for something new right now. As I mentioned, I think what I'm going to do is just keep a pulse out for internal job postings and apply there. I have built a very strong reputation and a lot of career capital where I am, and I'm gonna try to capitalize on that if there's still some steam in there left. But anything is possible as well. I'm open to that. And to Nutrition Goddess, thank you so much. And she says thank you, or he says, they say thank you for sharing your story. It really resonated with me because I'm going through the exact same thing right now. This is a blessing in disguise. Good luck, and I hope you find somewhere to land very soon. Yes, I likewise to you. I'm so sorry to everybody who's also going through layoffs. I would say that what's helping me keep my mental health in check and in a good shape is to not isolate yourself. Do lean into your network and those who are reaching out to you, people who are offering to be your professional references or offering any help. I'd say thank you, and that I would definitely take them up on the offer if I come to the point where I do need to really lean into, really tap into my network and ask for help. So, to everyone who's going through layoffs right now, or if you've been laid off in the past 6 months, 12 months, and still out there, I send you my best wishes. And as I said before, definitely tap into your network. You have to be willing to be vulnerable. Put your pride and ego aside and ask for help. From Oli92_, I love this. Sorry to hear that you have been let go. Maybe this is the perfect opportunity to go for something new or out of your comfort zone. Good luck for the future. Things will work out for you. I love that. Thank you so much. I agree with you. I believe it as well. I've been wanting to take like a month or two sabbatical for many years. In a way, this is a blessing in disguise. In that way, it's like the worst golden opportunity because I'm getting all the time I want now, but at the same time, it's not something that has a runway that's indefinite. I have definitely an expiration date of how long I can take time off. To No More Rat Race, I love that name. I retired at 33 years old. I am 37 now. I worked for the company for 12 years every day. I go to the job I hated. Congrats to you. I don't know what you did. If you can share, would love to hear, but I am not in the same position. I wish to be. Who knows? I am thinking about what is a service that I can sell? What is something that I'm so good at that it is marketable? I am thinking about that, and I happen to be reading right now a book called So Good That They Can't Ignore You by Carey Newton. I think that's his name. I don't have the book with me. I'm also reading Seneca, the Greek philosopher, on the shortness of life. And it's kind of funny reading both juxtaposed because Seneca's On Shortness of Life is a critique overall of the very thing that Carey Newton's book kind of espouses and preaches. A lot of the self-help and motivational books are actually complete opposite of what the Greek philosophers say makes for a more virtuous, meaningful, fulfilling life. Because all the self-help books is about pushing yourself, growing, chasing things, pursuing things, and Seneca's book is talking about how those type of people actually end up at 65 years old wondering what happened to their lives and how they wasted all those years not really doing anything truly fruitful and meaningful in the context and the grand scheme of their existence in this world. And so it's very interesting to be reading both books, but the practical side of me is definitely finding a lot of benefit from Newton's book, Carrie Newton's book on deliberate practice, building a skill and turning that into a passion of yours. I disagree with his terminology, his usage of passion, how people who follow their passion tend to fail. I would say that what I want isn't necessarily to follow my passion, because to me, passion entails a level of commitment and earnest level of effort and time. And I have interests and hobbies that used to be passions, and I would like to see if I could turn those interests into passions. And so that in turn would actually be aligned to what Newton professes, or is a better way, which is for me to go to an area that is an interest of mine, then put in deliberate practice using that craftsman mindset that he talks about in the book of getting so good at something that they can't ignore you. So yeah, but that's just me rambling right now. Maybe I'll do a quick book review on books that I'm reading at the moment at a later point in time. But with regard to layoffs, I'm feeling really good. Point blank, I'm feeling really good. I'm not nervous. I just need to get over this cold. I do have to admit that I have had difficulty sleeping. Once I got my news, my cold came roaring back, and I had a hard time breathing Wednesday night. Stayed up all night trying to clear my nasal passages so that I could breathe. And then on Thursday, I was having post-nasal drip so badly that I was coughing so much. My nasopharynx and larynx is raw, scratched up, and it stings really sharply. And that woke me up in the dead of sleep on Thursday night. So I woke up at 2 in the morning, drank lemon and honey tea, hot lemon honey tea. Was finally able to go back to bed at 4, but I woke up at 6. So I had a headache all of Friday. And I'm finally now kicking this cold, and hopefully I get better quality sleep for the next several days. I have to remember that I can't just cut loose all my work. I still need to show up every day that I'm working, even if I have nothing scheduled in terms of meetings. What I'm planning to do is, one big thing that I want to make sure that to take care of is I have one product review, requirements document to review, give feedback to the product manager. I want to make sure that there is a KPI, a success criteria that is included, because I did touch base with our data analytics team to probably help build a dashboard in the future for this new website interface that we're building. One of the other highlights that I had, what's giving me so much hope that I'll be able to just have something else lined up pretty quickly, is the VP, the lead data architect, pulled me aside into a meeting when I told him I was being let go my last days next month, and he's like, "No, you can't go. You can't go." He's like, "No, this is not good. No one else can do the work. No one else can do what you're doing." And that gave me that made my heart swell and made me sad. All the extolling, the praise. I was on the verge of tears on Wednesday when I was just getting an outpouring of so much praise and extension of help, to get me wherever I needed to go. I feel like all the work I've done, I'm feeling pretty proud of it, because I think seeing so much positive feedback is really the fruit of my labor that I put in the past 3.5, 4 years especially. So hope is not lost. Alright, so I made it back home and I forgot where I left off. I think overall what I just want to say is that I am just really grateful for everyone I've worked with. You know, I have nothing bad to say about my employer. This is probably the best company where I've worked, and it's because the people, almost everybody I've worked with, have just been absolutely delightful, wonderful, super intelligent, but also kind people. So if you hear any scratching sounds in the background, it's my cats. They just sometimes love digging, like, anyways, I feel like I live with raccoons sometimes. But anyways, I got a few new comments that I do want to address. The first one, Midwest Mike 6155 commented, maybe they saw your older video saying you were only going to do the minimum. I think this is highly speculative. There's no credence to it, and I'm such a small channel. The video where, you know, I go hiking and stuff like that, I have fewer than 200 subscribers, so I don't give out my PII. I don't mention where I work, so there's no way that they can actually trawl for that kind of information. And my boss did not make the decision to let me go. It was not her decision. It came from higher ups, executive levels. So I don't think those people are crawling through YouTube day in, day out. And yeah, and there are other people in the company, I'm sure, that have YouTube channels as well. Let's see. And also the fact that, excuse me, I'm having a coughing fit. Hopefully I can kick this cold by the week is over, by the time Monday comes around. Shouldn't be drinking coffee so late at night, but it's okay. It's still weekend. So, yeah, so let's say though, let's give the benefit of doubt to your argument that they saw my older video saying the minimum. Then there's an incongruous fact that my output at work and my performance at work is high. So if my minimum is producing more output, more movement in my programs than somebody who's giving 100%, I would actually, I've been in a position as a decision maker, as a people manager, I'm going to look for proof in the pudding. So someone could say I'm just doing the bare minimum, but be producing a lot and actually adding a lot of value. I'm going to take the action to override what they say. And also, I would say, and hopefully this does quell any kind of like ruminations about like, and speculations. You know, if anything, let's say the company is trawling and spying on employees, they're more likely to be listening to our team's messages and meetings and calls than trying to look on YouTube and find an employee with like fewer than 200 subscribers who might be putting a video out about work-life balance. And if anything, if in that line of logic, let's say what Mike is saying is true, then, so many people should be cut that aren't cut. Yeah, so I hope that pretty much nullifies any of the assumptions that like, oh, my content before, I'm too small of a YouTube channel, I don't disclose any personal information, I don't mention where I work, and also there are people at work in Teams meetings who disclose far more incriminating information, and by that logic, you know, they're still there. So that, I think that renders that Mike's argument moot, and I say that most respectfully, okay, so please don't take it the wrong way. Next comment is from Lazy Husband. Try running and joining a running club. You'll meet a lot of wonderful people. Be outside and get healthy. I love that idea. I'm not the best runner, but I do like hiking. I have a lot of meetup groups that I follow for hiking. And to your point though, just getting outside is very important. And that's something I plan to do. I was supposed to go to 2 social functions today, one in the morning, one in the evening, but because my cold came roaring back, I don't want to spread my germs and get other people sick. So that's why I did a solo activity today of driving out to the mountains. But once I'm better, I'm going to look for other social events. But absolutely, getting exercise is something I really like doing. even if it's not with a group, then going by myself to do a very strenuous, difficult hike, because I love getting my heart rate up to the point that I know I'm burning visceral fat. It makes me feel really good. And I just feel like it just helps with the autophagy and cleaning up all my damaged cells and regenerating. All right, next comment. I see flowers. By the way, I love these profile names. They're so wonderful. Like Lazy Husband, I see flowers. Magisterial Voyager. You guys have some of the most awesome profile names. But anyways, I see flowers says, I feel you. Sometimes things don't go right and we feel like shit. I am in the same situation with you, but take care of ourselves is the most important thing. 100%. Tomorrow will be better. Yep, 100%. I have quite a runway. I don't have a golden parachute. I would say I have like a silver-plated parachute. I'm not being idle. I did already apply to jobs. I'm looking at the internal... I can't wait for this cold to go. Makes my throat so itchy. All right, 100%. And I think it's really important to have that mindset. I do believe that your prevailing thought patterns and attitude towards life becomes your reality. And so I generally tend to be a very optimistic person. And so, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not so nervous about not finding a job. I'm nervous about what I'm going to do with all this time now. Because one thing I do think I didn't appreciate enough is the structure that work provided me. So I made an agreement with myself that I'm going to still continue getting up early in the morning, maybe not as early as though I have a meeting with a European team, but let's say 6:30 every morning, and carrying all my morning routines and now time boxing or fitting in things that I enjoy doing that I've been neglecting to do only because, you know, when you're working full time, you only have so many hours available to you. So you have to pick and choose what's going to be your leisure activity. And so that's where I'm just like so overwhelmed is like, what am I going to do with all this time? And of course, I'm hoping that if you're in a similar situation like me, where you do have a buffer of still being employed like a month or two before your actual termination date, and you'd have the reputation built, the career capital, social capital, and a high performance track record, try to take advantage of any kind of internal postings. I happen to be fortunate that I work in a gargantuan company, so there are literally new jobs being posted every single day. Like I checked every single day and there's just more and more new jobs. And initially when I thought the team lead job in Portland, Oregon was gone, I checked the next day and boom, there were like 2 program and project management jobs that are in line with exactly what I'm doing. I felt more comfortable with the project manager one that opened up and I submitted my application. But I'm not gonna count on everything panning out in my favor. So I'm also, of course, ready for no job coming through. All right, and another one that came in, JB4C89. Thank you so much for sharing your personal story and experience. This was me last November. I'm 36. My previous job was in the nonprofit sector. She goes on, they go on to say my work shut down about 11 months later. I was asked if I want to accept a leave package. I spent some months soul searching, resting, and healing. Yes, you can do the same. If you can do the same, please do it. Yes, I am with you 100%. And you know, it's kind of funny. It's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy because that's what I wanted, was some unbridled, unfettered, unchained free time to myself to be able to do that soul searching and really investing more time and earnest energy, like deliberate practice, to reconcile a lot of things in my past, especially my childhood, that's dictated the way I behave, my character as an adult, etc., and my shortcomings. And they go on to say I budgeted everything and made it work for 6 to 7 months. They're at a new job, pay slightly less, but okay with less responsibility. Just adjust my wants versus needs. Wishing you the best. Thank you so much. Yes, and I totally get that. My closest friend, we had this talk about 4 years ago. No, 3 years ago. Like, it was when we were doing virtual happy hours during the lockdowns. You know, I'm not so ambitious anymore. I just want to have a stable job, a secure job that is not going to bring me stress outside of work hours, something I can, you know, there's no homework. I just work, you know, 9 to 5, leave it, and leave work at work and be able to enjoy my life. And if it comes with lesser responsibilities, that's fine. Like, we're not avaricious and wanting to be the CEO, COO, EVP, and having to schmooze with the right people and be political. You know, we find that I think what we did was we unraveled our identity that was before being too entwined with our work and the job titles that we held. So yeah, to your point, JB4C89, I am not opposed to that as well. Like, I even entertained the idea of working part-time, being like a restaurant host or a waiter, or going to work at a retail shop. I love being on my feet. I miss being physically active. And, you know, I don't consider that work like below me. So yeah, that's out there. I don't necessarily need it, but if I want to do it, I can. Alright, so I think that's about it. In terms of, to close this video out, I did make some shorthand notes about what I wanted to do with my time, and I'm probably going to do this when I have a little bit more time freed as I'm working. So eventually I'll start losing access to programs and systems, even though I'm technically still employed, and that's totally fine. I'm still going to be at work, but I'm going to use that time to probably start studying to probably get my Scrum Master certification, just to add. And even though I'm already trained in Agile methodology, the framework, and we use Agile at work, I want to just get that. And also program management certification is the PGMP. I think it's the same test as the PMP, but I don't know. I just get that done. I never really had to get certifications to really propel my career and get to the level where I am, but I think this will just help, you know, put a rubber stamp on it. So those are two things that I think that are very practical, will probably make me more competitive as other employers are looking at me. But my first strategy is to try to find something within the company, check Workday every day to see what rules open up, and be quick on the fly and apply internally, let my boss know, try to find out the hiring manager's name so that my manager can pass in a good word for me, and we'll see if I can land somewhere within the company. Another thing is, so aside from focusing on things to augment my resume, my CV, my profile, is to spend things, so some of the interests that I have that I haven't been able to pursue, I've been doing them in like sequential order, but not all at once, but I'm going to try to do a lot of things at once. Take ballet, hip-hop dance classes. Ages ago, I used to be a serious dancer. In fact, I was a dance major at UCLA before I switched majors. Yeah, I want to get my core strong, and then also want to take acting classes. I've been meaning to for like the past year and a half. My previous manager was encouraging me to do it, to work, because she found it helpful when she took acting classes, to be a better presenter, have no fear of public speaking, but also, you know, hey, if I wanted to start it, you know, get involved in acting, like act in plays or try to get in commercials and stuff, I would love to have that as a side gig. Another thing is I want to sing. I want to take singing lessons because I just love singing. Also get into more creative writing. Now I can like bucket a lot of chunks of time to commit to writing. I'm going to put my my small remote aircraft license exam in the back burner for now, to prioritize getting the Scrum Master and the Program Management certification. I'm probably going to take up archery again. I did archery last year for about 3 months, and I plan on getting a beginning archery set with like a 30-pound draw weight, and I like the recursive bow, so get into archery again. And I started rock climbing, and if I take 2 more classes in belay, then I can get like a certification for belaying. I don't know if I want to do that. That's a nice to have, but it's not really anything that's a real value add to my life right now. But I do enjoy rock climbing. And as I mentioned, I'm going to also engage in a lot more social activities. I have several meetup groups that I'm a part of, and try to sneak in and, you know, as many social gatherings as my personality allows. I do have social anxiety, especially for groups like larger than 6. I can easily have a panic attack if I'm in an enclosed space with like more than 10 people. But again, you know, I'm not going to socialize with like a aim or a purpose to network and try to get a foot in the door. It's just to help offset the dark path that your mind can go to when you have so much free time, open time, and you're looking for your next job. I want to make sure that I engage in social activities that adds levity to my life, and being around amiable people, laugh, have fun. That's very important. Oh yeah, one of the things I plan to do is take a road trip somewhere. I don't know where. I thought about driving to the Midwest to visit one of my close friends in Omaha, or I might drive up to Vancouver, Canada, or maybe I'll drive back home to LA just to visit my hometown. I don't know. So many things to try to do. I have too much time, so... But again, like I said, we'll see what happens. A lot of things are up in the air and nothing is really set in stone. I also don't want to be overconfident thinking like, oh, I'm gonna get something internally. I'm ready for whichever way the paths lead me to, and whichever way the cards will fall. But it'll be interesting. And hello. It'll be interesting. I'm gonna have so much time to play with my cats. Now I have no excuse. They're gonna want me to play with the cat wand like 10 hours a day. I think my life is gonna be all about this. Huh, Coco, you love it? Yeah. Happy Saturday. Have a wonderful weekend. Please take good care of yourself. Remember, health is wealth. So hopefully you're making all your life decisions around what is best for your long-term health. I try to do that. And if you'd like to see other content or you have suggestions, please leave them in the comments. I also, part of my career journey has been a big credit to my meditations. I do very intense meditations using candlelight. And as I mentioned, your prevailing thoughts become your reality. And it is thanks to those meditation sessions that I've been able to really catapult my career in the past 5-6 years. If you're interested in future meditation session, I would be happy to lead one with candlelight. If anyone's interested in a candlelight meditation session, let me know in the comments. I will talk to you guys very soon, and yeah, bye.